Get.
Righto, out this afternoon, it's about probably close to 6. Got Stuart here, and he's got his 4440. I've got the old triple barrel shotgun down there. And yeah, running first round. There's tiny little nugget solids, and then 2 buckshot behind it in case I have to go in the cane with a bit of backup. Stu's got his 2 dogs, Prickle and Mia here, and I've got my pack that I was running the other day, so we got a fair few dogs, but should be right. They all work on their own, so if there's a mob, they might all take off different ones. Minty, Digit, behind her, Pepper, and Arlie back there, and here's Prickle, and behind that's Stu's Catahoula, Mia. So yeah, anyway, gonna hit one of my cane blocks at Southie, possibly 2. See if we can get onto something, eh, Stu?
Yeah, what was the call on the number of boars over 100? I reckon we're gonna get 5. Good.
What he said. Into the creek there. Into the cane. It's this time of day that makes it very hard for filming.
Yeah.
It's not quite torch weather, but you need it. Having some trouble getting across the creek there.
Yeah.
Probably something just about to come in.
Probably.
We'll be running now anyway.
Yeah.
We might turn around and we'll burn back down. Our dogs had jumped off on the edge of the cane paddock, swam across the creek, and were now working the paddock across the creek. Flat bicky, up and down, backwards and forwards, out and back. You name it, there was dogs everywhere. Me and Stu were having a hard time following them up, trying to block anything that was trying to come back into the paddocks that we were at, as we knew they were thicker than the ones across the creek, and the pigs would most likely try and come back. We were working hard to try and block up a pig that Mia and Minty were after, but after a while, this pig got the better of them. It was at this point we looked down at the tracker and noticed Digit was over 1k away. And she wasn't moving. I've got her.
You got Digit?
Yeah, 995.
995 and tree.
We soon made the decision to leave what dogs we hadn't got back where they were and head to Digit. It was a fair trip to get to her. We had to go round paddocks, round farms, everything else to get to the spot on the farm she had treed at, but eventually we made it there. They're liking it. Good catch. So what happened there, Stu?
Well, what a show. So the dogs worked scent and went across the creek there, got into the cane on the other side of the creek. They must have hit a mob, we've decided, because the dogs went everywhere, and Pepper and Prickle took their own line. Mia took her own line. And then Digit actually didn't go anywhere near as far as the rest, and she took her own line. So by the time we'd picked up Mia, by the time we picked up Prickle and Pepper, we'd noticed Digit was nearly a K away. Dropped out, saying that she was treed. And so we feverishly drove around trying to get the other dogs, absolutely fanging out of the cane. Hit some potholes, smashed our heads, shook everything right up. And luckily she was on a neighbouring property that we know. So we roared around there, stressing our heads off, and finally jumped through, just about narrowly avoiding the electric fence. Went about 300 metres into a little bit of swampy tea tree stuff, and Digit had a little boar, probably about 40 kilos, but yeah, a little sort of ginger spotted fella, and full of fizz. I've seen 100-kilo boars fight less than that. He was a fiery little bugger, but we had Ali and Minty by that stage, and they kept him well under control. But holy dooly, it was a very stressful 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It was a bit of a show, but we got it.
Yeah, I can't swim. Dogs are all in the drink here.
About a month later, I was heading round the cane with Zande and Poit when the dogs jumped in a similar place to the last pig I just showed you of Stu, and they headed out into the cane next door. Keep in mind I can hunt this cane, so I'm not officially poaching. They're just working the neighbouring property. Anyway, we had all the dogs: Digit, Pepper and Minty, Zandy's dog Mako, and Poit's dog Stitch. They worked around over there for quite some time, at least 20 minutes, before finally the rest of the dogs came back, and Poit's dog worked hard and actually came back across the trash about 600 or 700 metres behind us. Realising she was still on a pig, we zoomed back there and decided to put the rest of the dogs into the paddock where she went back in.
Across all this. It could have been here, just been like fine.
With the dogs back in the cane, we came up with a game plan. Poit and Zande went round the top side of the paddock, ready for anything to come out. I went round the bottom, and we just waited to see what would happen. It wasn't long before I heard the guns are up on the top side.
Matty. Pig's gone the other way than I thought.
We keep strict rules around the cane. Which way you shoot, all that sort of thing. So I knew if I went back around the same way I came from, I could go back past the headland those two were on, and back in front of the pig. But by the time I made it back up there, I seen all the dogs were treeing around the same area near Matty and Zande, so I figured, oh well, he must have got the pig. So I went to investigate. Tell you what, the bush around here isn't called the rainforest, and the area of the wet tropics without a reason. I had a quick look at the pig Poit and Zande had got, and then we continued on the way, hopeful it would get another one by the end of the day.
Stitch just chased this little boar from bloody, I don't know, a K or something across the creek out in a different cane paddock, and all dogs were working, and Stitch chased it all the way around, cross flooded creek into this paddock, and then we got the rest of the dogs in there. She was just knackered, ran so far. Come out, pumped it with, 4 shotty shells, a solid buckshot. Then what, another buckshot or what? Or a solid or what?
Buckshots, eh?
And then 2 more buckshots. And still kept going, pulled up in the cane there, and a little bit of a bale and a lug, and Zande come round and tomahawked him. Very good.
Big little ball.
Very good. As you can see, it's a little bit damp.
Suckers, proper fresh. Same one you hit the other day, probably.
Another two are just up there, yeah.
Real fresh one in.
Next off, we headed into a paddock next to the cane that was just full with absolutely huge hamel grass.
It's just now.
That 110 kilo pig bailed up in here.
Yeah, that'll do. I'm not going for rubbish.
Hey?
You don't want to go in there for rubbish.
I'd actually been out here a week or so before, and the dogs had got onto a few suckers. I assumed there was at least a big sow out here, and from the traffic coming from the cane, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something else laid up in the grass as well. It's going to be hard work, but there's bloody some terrific weather going on. With all the dogs working hard, it's inevitable sooner or later one to pick up on a pig. And as per usual, that dog was Digit.
Broke.
Let's just walk there.
She got later, shush. Got such a quiet barker. Oh, taking. The only thing out that bark's so quiet they can't hear it. Pepper's nearly there.
That stitch. That stitch.
Chuck us that shotgun instead. Sow that Didge just bailed up. The second pig for the morning. Got one earlier that Stitch chased out of, well, pretty much the cane next door. Ran around the paddock way out there with other dogs and eventually brought it over, and then old Poy there shot it crossing the headland 4 times. And bit of a slap. And then we came out here and there's all this long grass near the cane where the pigs seem to go and bed up during the day, and Digit worked out and got a good little bail going, and then we pulled up and listened, waited for the other dogs to get there, and we ended up lugging this fat as mud sow, fat as anything, doesn't even have a neck. Like,
that's the domesticated pigs.
Diabetes with legs.
Diabetes.
But yeah, it's pretty good. Jogged in there and Matty seen a big snake and
Big old carpet.
trouser snake. And yeah, got in here, and anyway, Zande stuck it, and yeah, they keep talking about parting it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's pretty fat. Like,
Good
rolls on
condition,
it,
eh?
man.
I reckon it'll be tasty, but I'm no help to
Chubby.
the dragon out course.
You'll be proud.
Righto, all good.